Alrighty, good morning family and welcome back to another productive vlog. We are actually on our way to a coffee shop. We're taking a little mini road trip today, so I'm going to take you guys along with me. And this area has a lot of nice coffee shops, so I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone and not going to my typical place, which is Panera, and we're going to branch out. I'm gonna do a Bible study there using I told you guys I bought like a little compact Bible, so I'm gonna be using that and then getting some work done. So I will check in with you guys when I get there, and let's get our lives together. I'm really hoping today is productive because I've been having a little bit trouble focusing, so hopefully changing my environment will really help. Okay, bye. Alrighty, so I am leaving the coffee shop. It was really nice in there, honestly. It was actually inside of a church, which was pretty cool. The church is absolutely beautiful. It looks like one of those like super intense mega campuses. It was really nice. They had like jazz music playing, which y'all know I love jazz. So now I'm getting ready to go get some tacos from Taco Bomba. Oh my God, I've been wanting to go to this place for so long. I went here when I saw Madison Ryan Ward for the first time in Virginia, and I was like, oh my God, if I ever come back to this place, I have to go get these tacos. So that's where we're going now. See you when I get there. Alrighty, so I'm getting ready to go inside to Taco Bomba. This area is really nice. They have a lot of like food options here. I see like a Banditos, a Panera, some other like food options over here. But oh my God, I just can't wait to eat these tacos. And then I'm gonna head back, honestly, because I have some client meetings and I don't want to be like in between, like trying to rush through traffic. So let's go inside and get rid of this hanger, okay? Let's unbox my new iPad 10th generation in the color silver. It's beautiful. I love it. Let's see what's in the box. Now let's open the accessories. it's in this beautiful light gray beige color. Very excited. And it comes with the keyboard already attached, which is going to be perfect. And then I will come back when it's all set up for you guys. Okay, got a yogurt bowl with some granola, blueberries, strawberries, and some honey. This has been like my go-to breakfast, but like a sweeter side. So good. Alrighty, so I just finished up my quiet time with God. I was reading Proverbs chapter 4, verses 20 through 27. This is what I've been studying recently. I was also reading it in different translations on my iPad, but I decided to bring out my Cast Your Cares guided journal today because I've been really trying to work on my thoughts, and sometimes I skip that when I'm just doing my regular journaling. So I started off with gratitude, of course, and then I broke down the verse in Proverbs, specifically focusing on verses 23 through 24. And basically, I was just looking up all of the words that stood out to me. So I was watching a video from John Bevere yesterday where he was explaining what it means to guard your heart. And so I looked up the word heart, and that meant the seat of your mind, your will, and your emotions. And then when you guard your heart is basically where you make decisions. And what started getting interesting was when right after this verse, it talks about avoiding all perverse talk and staying away from corrupt speech. And so I began to look up what that word perverse means, and it means a deliberate desire to behave in an unreasonable or unacceptable way. It also means crookedness and distortion, which is the act of giving a misleading account or impression or account. Now, the first thing that popped in my mind is like, okay, if you're giving a distorted account or misleading account and it's talking about guarding your heart, I was thinking about the first thing that I do usually when I am not guarding my heart, and that is complain. And I was talking about that on the live yesterday, and basically what God was teaching me is that like when you're not guarding your heart, right, it leads to perverse talk, right, which means it leads you to almost like assume, to make a negative assumption against God's character, right? Like when we're impatient and waiting. I was also studying, what was it? It was in Psalm, I think it's like 37 and one second, y'all. It's like Psalm 37. Psalm 37:7 talks about quieting your heart and waiting patiently for the Lord. And when I am not waiting patiently, right, I'm complaining, and I'm complaining against the character of God. So in this verse, I feel like the Lord was teaching me that like avoiding perverse talk and staying away from corrupt speech is literally staying away from making these assumptions about who the Lord is based on, you know, your emotions and your feelings, right? Like we can automatically assume God has forgotten about us, which means that we're assuming that he's not faithful. We can assume like, you know, he's not going to do what he says, which means that we're assuming that he's a liar, and we're making all of these perverse and, you know, talks and assumptions against him. And so really, I'm just reminding myself that like, that in this season, like I have to just really be careful to refuse to, what did I write? I had to really guard my heart and refuse to entertain complaining, doubt, or accusations and assumptions against the character of God. And the thought that kept coming up in my mind right now is like, because God is silent, that nothing is happening, but that assumes that God is not watching over his word to perform it, right? So it's these little accusations are at the root of this, but I just want to show you guys a little bit of how I use this. And like I said, this is my Cast Your Cares guided journal, and I had to go back to using this, and I'll be using this probably for like the rest of the month because it's so good. But that's a little Bible study for today. And of course, I'm using my Hosanna Revival Study Bible. Literally obsessed with this. But if you want this journal, the link is always in my description box. It's on Amazon, and it also comes in pink. All right, let's go ahead, and I need to do my hair and get ready for the day. Bye. I am back in my grocery shopping outfit. It's Thursday. I actually just finished voting and I ran into somebody from the YouTube family. So shout out to Kayla. It's just so funny. Like, I be running into people at the most random places. Like, I never thought I would run into one of our YouTube fam at the voting poll. But I just had to stop at this light. I mean, I'm stopped anyway because I'm at a stoplight. But y'all, the whole day, oh my gosh, I was so mad because I wanted to have like a super productive morning. And I felt like whenever I have midday meetings, I always feel like I'm waiting for the meeting to happen so I can't focus on anything else. Is anybody else like that? All I know is I was so mad because it is now 5 o'clock. My parents wanted to go together to vote. Like, I was going to go earlier at like 10 o'clock when nobody was there. But they were like, let's go together. Da, da, da. So now I feel like I kind of wasted the whole day. But not really, because I had to do my hair this morning because it was like so oily. So I did that. And we're still going to make the most of the day, even though I didn't have like the most productive morning. I still made my grocery list. We're going to get groceries, sticking to our routine. And I'm going to stay consistent in that area. So I don't know if I'm going to vlog because this is a little bit later. And y'all know it'll be a lot of people at the grocery store at this time. So I will see y'all when I get to the grocery store. Try to get a little bit of clips. Y'all know, y'all be seeing, we do the same thing every week. But yeah, I'll see y'all inside. Bye. So I ended up at the Chick-fil-A line. I was gonna get Chipotle. I actually was gonna cook when I got home, but I have a client a little bit later, so I want to make sure that I'm like have enough time to put my groceries away and like eat. I do not like taking client meetings without eating, y'all, because I be hungry, real hungry. So yeah, Chick-fil-A just sounded like the moves. I didn't get a milkshake though. I was good because that banana pudding milkshake is something special. Okay, so I did not get that. I just got a 4-count tender meal with some fries, and y'all know you gotta get extra honey mustard because that's the only sauce. I tried all the other sauces. I know we got some Polynesian Queens. That's not really my style. I'm like so proud of myself because this has been a really productive couple of days. So I feel back on track and ready to restart and do my empty out session tomorrow. Fresh new sheet, y'all. See you tomorrow. Getting ready to wash my fruit, some blueberries. Just go strawberries. Baking soda. Put some of these strawberries in a different container so that they have room to submerge. Alrighty family, let's go ahead and get into the monthly recap. This is the portion of the video where I tell you guys the highs and lows of last month and the strategy that I'm taking into this month. So obviously the biggest high for October was we hit 100K. So that has just been such a beautiful journey. Like I said, I won't dwell too much on that because I've been talking about that a lot. The other biggest high was I went to a lot of concerts in October. Like I got to see a concert with my sister, then I went to see the Madison Ryan Ward concert with a few friends. So that was just such a blessing because I was just talking to God, like music is such an important part of my life. And I remember when I first came to God, I was struggling with letting go of a lot of music that I used to listen to. And I was like, God, like I need you to introduce me to music that is good for my spirit in all genres. So like I'm a big, like I listen to all genres of music, even country. Like I listen to jazz, rock, country, soul, R&B. I don't listen to too much like rap anymore unless it's like Alex Jean, I think that's his name. But I feel like God has really blessed me when it comes to like the musical choices out here. Cause y'all know for a while, like there was no really good Christian music. It was all kind of corny, low key. So I am so thankful that God has pretty much replaced every single genre of music. So I'm super, super grateful for that, even like down to like pop music. So that's been a big blessing to be able to see some of these artists that I love and be able to support them. Okay, so cool. So that was pretty much for the highs. Also, oh my gosh, so I started habit tracking recently towards the end of October, and who knew that like such a little thing, like I was doing these things already, but it's something about being able to check off my habits, you know, every single day that just reminds me to do those things. And I feel like I've finally been able to like habit stack a lot of the things that I was struggling with being consistent. So I would always spend my time with God and I would always pray, but I really been wanting to, I told you guys last week or a couple weeks ago that I was really trying to prioritize prayer. Like the word of God says, seek ye first the kingdom and its righteousness, and all other things will be added unto you. So it's no point in me trying to like put all my effort and energy into all these other places until I really like lock down on prayer. So I've really been pressing in, and I feel like I've seen the fruit of that with one of the habit stacking that I've been doing, which is as soon as I get out of bed, I do my 30-minute prayer walk where I'm praying in tongues for 30 minutes. And I'm able to literally get my exercise in every single day. Because y'all know if you work from home, like you're most likely not getting a lot of exercise unless you're being really intentional. And then I'm able to, you know, build up my spirit, which I've definitely needed because I feel like last month I kind of poured out a lot and I was feeling a little bit drained. So I'm not killing like two birds in one stone, actually three, because as soon as I get up, like right before I take my walk, I fill up my 40-ounce thing of water. So habit stacking is so key. I'm able to get 3 of the major things that I need to get done. And it really does shift the way that I start off my day. I've noticed that I have a lot more energy now. Like I don't feel as, I'm awake, right? Like sometimes you can be up spending time with God and like kind of fall back asleep, but I'm like up and alert after I take my walk. So that was one of the biggest highs. yeah, so I'll say that we'll end that for the highs. For the lows, I feel like I really struggled with procrastination this month on like a certain project, only because like there were certain things that were outside of my control. Like my speakers in my laptop blew out. So like when I try to like record like a screen recording or a training, like the static from the speakers will like overshadow the mic, or it's like too or like the fan over here. It's an older computer, so I need to get a new one. So that has kind of like put a damper on me being able to produce these trainings at the level that I wanted to. I actually recorded like a bunch of trainings yesterday, and I was having so many technical difficulties. Like one time I recorded it and it didn't even save, so I had to start over. And then another time I recorded it and it recorded it with double video. So like it's been a lot of stupid things that have been like outside of my control, but I'm just pressing in and just not getting distracted. I know sometimes when I'm working on certain projects, especially for God, there's just like warfare, you know, that probably comes in like form that you don't expect. So I'm just pressing through and staying focused. What else? Okay, another low was, I feel like right after I finished the 75 hard challenge, like I kind of went into binge eating, and I kind of saw that happening because whenever you deprive yourself of something for a long time, like you either can stick with that habit or you binge. And so for me, I started binge eating a little bit, but it was probably only for like a week and a half. And like I said, a lot of that had to do with just like me suppressing a lot of my cravings for like my period. So I feel like that maybe lasted for like a week and a half. But once I started going back to the basics of like getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, making sure that I'm incorporating my fruits and veggies and taking my vitamins on a consistent basis, and with the additional like 30 minutes of workout every single day, those things have subsided and I've been able to like get my cravings under control. And also I've been really praying in that area that God would like change my appetite and not allow me to undereat or overeat or whatever, just that I would have discipline in those areas. So that has been, you know, it was a low, but now it's like a strategy that I'm taking into next month. But overall, my strategy for November is, like I said, I really need to finish out all of the trainings for this project so that it's good to launch, because I know it's going to be like super crucial for, you know, the end of this year, early next year, because I know God is calling a lot of people to start the thing that I'm creating the trainings around. So I'm really excited about that. But overall, like I said, my strategy is just to be consistent in the basics. One thing I was like not insecure about, but I was just thinking about is how sometimes my content, especially like the productive vlogs, can get repetitive. But what I've learned, especially from reading Atomic Habits, is that like when you're able to master the mundane and not always be chasing a new thing or trying to switch up things just because you get bored, like you can really master those daily things that you want to do. So like for me, like my routine has been very consistent for the past 3 or 4 years. Like there are things that I've added, things that I've taken away, but like my mindset has been, even when the routine gets boring, it's still effective. So I'm really, really excited about that. So I will be maintaining the habit tracking with tracking the basics and just being consistent in refining and tweaking my routine, no matter how I feel. Because even yesterday, I was just like to this point where I did my morning routine, but then I got a little tired, and it's like I started to let my mind think about those excuses. And then the more I did that, the more I laid in the bed. But I was like, no, I don't have to sit here and entertain these thoughts that are trying to throw me off track. Like these thoughts are here because they are trying to ruin my progress, but God has given me authority. So I've been really exercising my authority over that spirit of laziness, that spirit of slothfulness. Yeah, so that's going to be my strategy. And like I said, of course, prioritizing more time in prayer. Yeah, that's gonna be my strategy for November. I'm really excited for November. I'm excited. My birthday's in December, so we're getting closer to my birthday, and I'm just excited to see what God has to offer. I'm gonna be really diligent about protecting myself from distractions and things like that. So yeah, we are excited for November. Let me know something good that happened to you in October and one thing that you're planning to do this month in November. And I will check in with you guys a little bit later. Bye. Alrighty, that's going to wrap up another monthly reset. Thank you guys for rocking with me. I hope that you have an amazing November, praying nothing but blessings, joy, and breakthrough over you. Love you. Bye.